Welcome back to Best of Wisconsin Homes. I'm your host, Josh Lavick at Josh Lavick and Associates, our local real estate team in the Madison area here. And I've got some wonderful guests on the show today from the Wisconsin Realtors Association. We've got Tom Larson, our President CEO, and then Cori Lamont, who's VP of our Legal Affairs department. So thought they'd help bring some insight in terms of what's happening in our real estate market, both maybe locally and statewide. And obviously you guys are in a lot of conversations with a lot of stakeholders throughout the state, but also maybe nationally as well. So thought that we could have an interesting conversation today. So yeah, I wanted to maybe just start things off with what we think, what are your thoughts maybe on the current real estate market and as we go into the next year or maybe a couple of years, and what do you think is coming up down the pike?
The overall market looks good, and the realtors that I've spoken to are very excited about 2025. We're seeing an increase in inventory, which, as you know, has plagued the market over the last several years, but we're seeing an uptick in inventory. In some markets, you're seeing a 20% increase year over year. Interest rates are also lowering. That creates a little bit more excitement from home buyers. The economy is still looking pretty strong, and we're seeing unemployment at historic lows. So all these factors are creating some optimism, enthusiasm for 2025 and beyond. We still need more new housing though.
More new housing, yeah.
We're still low. We're not getting enough new construction,
Okay.
but we are seeing improvements in the area of inventory.
Yeah, so I can sort of echo my thoughts on that too, because I've definitely seen an increase in inventory, which from like a buyer's perspective, you know, you're writing offers with 10 or more offers on a property. I don't see that nearly as much, hardly at all anymore. So
are you seeing sellers adjust their prices? Are sellers, I guess, more realistic about prices these days with more inventory coming on the market? Properties may sit a little bit longer?
I think I've found anyway, it depends on kind of where they end up starting, right? Are they starting at thinking they're still going to get a 10 to 15% bump beyond last year's price, or are they, more tempered? And where they start usually dictates how fast they sell, and also for what their sale price is. So
that's why it's important to hire a good realtor, right? Someone to advise the seller on how to properly price a home.
Yeah. Well, and that's a conversation we have regularly with our clients, right? I mean, we're not, we don't just put it out there at any price and hope and pray that it sells and let it sit there for 6 months. We're going to definitely be having conversations on a regular basis. So.
Yeah, good.
But what do you think, so going forward, I don't know, maybe next year and the year after, anything prediction-wise?
As long as the economy still remains strong, I think we're going to be good. You're seeing inflation level off, which is a huge sigh of relief, because I think as those inflationary numbers went up, you're still seeing labor costs and material costs with respect to new construction continue to rise. And I think that's a promising sign. So hopefully with those new homes being built, that those prices begin to level off as well. Yeah,
for sure. I know that's been something I feel like we've been telling our clients for a long time, right? Is, we're not going to see mortgage rates come down until those inflation numbers also come down. So, and now we're starting to see both of those things. So where do you see
interest rates in 2025? What's your prediction?
Well, I would like to see them somewhere in the fives. It would be my preference. I mean, I think that, psychologically, once we get below that 6% mark, I think there's probably a lot of people on the fence that maybe want to move, that are maybe locked in at a 3.5% interest rate, that don't want to make the jump to 6.5 or 7 or whatever it's going to be. So, but they might for 5.5 or something like that, is my guess. And that, in my opinion, would probably unlock additional inventory and allow more people to maybe make that move. But yeah, I'm still, that's my thought anyway. So
I think you're absolutely right that the interest rates have a bigger impact on supply than they do in demand. Is that as those interest rates lower, those people who locked in at 3, below 3, that spread becomes less. And they've been reluctant to sell because they locked in at such a low interest rate. Life happens.
Totally.
People get divorced, their families expand, their needs for housing change. I heard a statistic somewhere that over, was it 45 or 50% of people who bought homes during COVID are unhappy with their home purchases. They purchased those homes because of the surrounding circumstances, and they would like a different housing option. So that could potentially be good news for the housing supply shortage as well.
Totally makes sense. Well, we'll pick up this conversation after the break.